Texas is where I grew up. Gonzales, Texas is the font of tribal memories. Just as some of you treasure family tales of Brooklyn, Dublin, or Naples, my inherited memories hover over the little town between San Antonio and Houston. Members of my family lived there for at least 80 years, and I view myself as an honorary son. In a burst of nostalgia, I call it Mayn Shtetele Gonzales, from the Yiddish song Mayn Shtetele Bells, my little town Gonzales. Well, Gonzales is in the news indirectly these days. How so? The town popularized the phrase "come and take it" in 1835 at the start of the Texas Revolution. The phrase dates back to the Greek term Molan Labe, the Spartan king's taunt to the Persians before the Battle of Thermopylae. Fast forward 2,300 years. Mexican troops tried to seize a cannon held by Texas forces in Gonzales. The local militia refused and wrote "come and take it" on a flag with the drawing of the cannon. The image has become the civic identity ever since, a potent statement of defiance. But it turns out that in 2022, "come and take it" may connote the wrong kind of defiance. In August, Project Veritas publicized the leak of an FBI report of symbols and images used by militant, violent extremists. "Come and take it" was on the list along with the brave little cannon. Well, the political becomes personal for me due to the long family connection with the town dating back to the late 1800s. Photos in history trace the story of a big Jewish family set in the town. I treasure images of the intertwined families that gathered there from around Texas in the two-story brick home of my great-grandparents, the entrepreneurial German-born Lehman and Esther Michelson. I like to think of my mother and her parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins mingling there on long summer nights. Visits back to Gonzales were special for me. In the 1960s, my mother took my brother and me to visit the graves of her parents there, Jared and Eva Listener. In 1989, I took my fiancée to the same cemetery to pay our respects to my mother, who died in 1984. I even looked into buying a burial plot for myself at that cemetery, a notion that proved wildly impractical given I live in suburban New York. Tales of the Michelsons and other families are actually well documented in histories of Gonzales. For example, the Encyclopedia of Southern Jewish Communities has a Gonzales page. It states, "The Jewish community began to grow substantially in the 1870s with the arrival of Jewish merchants and peddlers. The Michelsons had a candy shop and cafe, which also served as the Greyhound bus station, as well as the local Coca-Cola franchise, which I still remember. I even learned that Eva Michelson, Listener, my grandmother, was what we would now call a bold-faced name in the social columns of the venerable Gonzales Inquirer weekly newspaper. One notice said, "Miss Eva Michelson of Gonzales, Miss Rosa Blumenthal, and Mr. Louis Ryman composed a merry autoing party which went to Taylor Thursday night to see the circus." Beneath the notice she wrote, "October 26, 1911, Miss Rosa was a chaperone." Her appointment calendar also says, "Friday at Goldstein's for the evening. Saturday left for Gonzales via San Antonio at 4:45 p.m. Well, if you've ever heard me on here before, you'll know I clearly inherited my stylish grandmother's passion for obsessive photo tagging and self-chronicling. She would have loved Instagram and TikTok. Sadly, she died before I could know her. So back to that FBI list. I'm happy to see that Gonzales is carrying on and shrugs off criticism of its motto. Local businesses include Come and Style It and Company and the Come and Take It Bar and Grill. Like the Michelsons of 100 years ago, they know how to market themselves. I'm doing my part here to connect with the Jewish families in town whose names and faces are so familiar to me. I don't live there, but the place gives me endless writing material. And to top off the vibe, the Gonzales Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture will hold its Come and Take It celebration October 1 to 3. The Chamber's online store still sells hats, coffee mugs, flags, and t-shirts with that ornery motto and artwork. I may even order myself a hat. Yeah, I'm going to come and take it and bring it back to Cantona. So, Molan Labe, indeed, And Shabbat Shalom, mein Shtetele Gonzales. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. You have such a great way of taking these truths and your facts, whether it's truths of your life or just
Right.
in this case, a little more broadly, and weaving them together into a narrative that takes us on a journey.
Right. Yeah, Bill could probably correct my pronunciation of Molan Labe.
I'm not familiar with that word.
Come and take it. It's I'll send you a link about it.